What up, y'all? So, I broke up a fight the other day, and I'm not even sure if it was the right decision or not now. Um, it's just how I went about it. So, we're on a train, and a lot of my stories are on the train because I get on the train every day. Anyways, I'm reading my Bible, minding my business, got my Bible in my hand. It's a gang of people on the they're not a gang, but it's a lot of people on the train. You know how it is. It's a man in the back and it's a lady in front of him. And I don't know if he swung his arm or not, or he was doing too much in the back, but he touched her head. He must have touched it in a way she felt violated. So she walked around to me and she began, like, not to me, but on the other side, and she began to curse him out. Oh, mother effer, don't touch my head. My kids don't even touch my head. Nobody violates me in that way. Um, and he's like appalled. He's like, I'm sorry for touching your head. I didn't mean to if I did. And, he's a little out of his mind as well. He's not speaking as clearly as I am. He's like, I didn't mean to touch your head. Like, shit. Like, I said sorry. Like, what you want? And she just continues to curse him out viciously. Mother effer, this and that. I cut you. I do all this crazy stuff, right? And like, you don't know me. I'm from the hood, whatever. You know how it is. And he's continuing to go back and forth with her. He's like, oh, you ain't gonna do that. Like, fuck out of here. And he's continuing to go back and forth with her. And I'm still minding my business, looking up every once in a while. And I just decide to get in the middle of it because there's no end to this. They both cursing back and forth. So I step in the middle of it slowly. I'm looking. I'm like, whatever. I'm looking around. I see it's a whole bunch of men on the train, and they're not saying nothing. They just looking, entertained. And I walk over. I see all this. I'm just like, yo, man, she's a woman. Why are you arguing with a woman? Be quiet. Like, chill. Let her have it. Mind you, this man is tall. He was about 6'3". I'm 5'6". And I don't care about any of that. I just notice it, because people look small when they sitting down, but when they stand up, they just keep on getting up. You just like, and I know that all too well too, but I didn't care about that. I'm like, yo, she's a lady. She's a lady. Quiet. And he said, all right, man, you right. And I said, okay. And I'm thinking, thank God in my head, like, he shut up. He's cooperating. And I do security, so I know how to speak to people. I know how to be stern with still being respectful. But I also know where we are. We're in Newark, New Jersey. This is the hood, so I can't be too, kind to him. He's upset, so I gotta kind of, chill. Like, I gotta let him know I'm from the hood too, a little. And he be quiet. He shut up, and I was like, thank God. In my head, I had my Bible in my hand, and I turn around, and she look at me. She looks at the Bible. She says, God is good, and I says, He's very good. And like, I got a smile on. I'm on fire for God. And He's very good. You know what I mean? And shouldn't let those things bother you. You should pray for people. She's like, oh yeah, I pray every day or whatever. And um, I guess while she's talking to me, she glances at him or whatever. Now I don't know what happened, but once she took her eyes off me, she got mad again and began to curse him out again. And I'm like, you just said you pray every day. Why? And I'm like, oh. So I guess this goes on for like 30 seconds, and she's about to get off the train. And, I guess he thought about getting off the train too, but like now they're close to each other, cursing each other out. And I'm just looking, I'm looking at him, I'm looking at her, I'm like, you know what I mean? And they cursing each other out. And she gets off the train. She's like, come on, you getting off? Come on. And he's like, I got daughters. I got a wife that can handle you. Like, I'm not worried about it. And now I'm just like, oh boy. And he's cursing, she's cursing, and the doors aren't closing yet because he's still on the train. She's off the train. And I'm just like this behind him. Showing her the Bible. She ain't look at me. The door's closed. She's still cursing him out. He turns back. The train goes off. I go to him now. Now, we're close to each other. I'm like, that was kind of unnecessary, right? She's a female. She's upset. And she felt violated. It's like, oh, but I ain't mean to touch her head, big dog. Like, I know what you mean, but I'm like, yeah, but once she feels violated and you said sorry and she continues to curse you out, you got to let her curse you out, bro. You can't keep arguing with her. You see that's no end. What's going to happen then? He's like, yeah, you're right. And I'm like, yeah, I am right. At the time, I didn't tell him that, but I'm like, yeah, bro, like, you believe in God? He's like, yeah, I believe in God. I'm like, yeah, so you already know what Jesus says. You already know. He's like, yeah, you're right. It's like, God bless you, bro. Like, And I throw God into all these confrontations. I don't got time for the foolishness. But because once somebody believes in God, quote unquote, you should know. I don't expect you to know the word, but you should know the basics. God is love, love your enemy. Yeah, it's hard to do it at the time. And I'm blessed for seeing that perspective every time I'm able to see it. Because sometimes I go off on people. This journey has been a long journey for me. But yeah, he gets on the phone, he calls his daughter, oh, I wish you would have seen this BITCH on the train or whatever. She was trying to play me or whatever, and now the door's open again and it's my stop. I just get off and I go home, And I thanked God for being with me in that moment, It was a holy moment because they both believed in God. They saw the moment of discrepancy. They just kept going afterwards, and many of us do that with with God. We go to church and then we step outside the church and we cursing and we hooting and hollering. So yeah, I don't know if those was the right words to use or the right perspective to use because like she's cursing you out. I shouldn't tell you to not defend yourself, but like once you see it's no end to it, do you then continue? I don't know. The questions I ask myself, I don't think you should, but if somebody's cursing you out, you curse them back out, whatever. I've saw that perspective as well. And I know it's no end to that. That's why I told him that the way I told him that, but who am I to say, That's why I'm not sure if I was right or wrong in that moment or not, but yeah. Thanks for listening. Peace.